Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday's New Comic Day and sometimes Thursday's New Comic Day, so I like to give you some great reasons to go to black-cat-comics.com and pick up something fun to read. This week is packed with fun, cool, amazing stuff to read. Lots of great things to talk about. Let's start with Batman, because that's always a great place to start. This is your latest issue of Joker War. This is the biggest book in comics. Everybody's been waiting to get their hands on this one, just like every issue of Batman. If for some reason you've been on Mars for the last 80 years, pick up the recent issue of Batman and jump right in, because this book is awesome. And then go back and catch up on all the other Joker War stuff that you might have missed. This is your only Joker War book this week, but it's never your only Bat book. Batman The Adventures continues your adventures in the Batman animated series universe, which everybody knows and loves. Again, if you've been holding out on this, pick up the latest issue, grab the couple that you've missed. This book is awesome and a ton of fun. You don't need to know much about anything to enjoy it. If you love the show back in the day, if you know who Batman is, this book is really tons of fun, and it's great to see the classic villains in the new universe and all that kind of stuff. Justice League. One of my favorite titles, because it's got everybody packed into one great comic. This book is as fun as comics can be, and has been for a long time. No, everybody's already got that one on their sub list, and it doesn't need much help from me. Shazam! Another one of my favorite books. This one doesn't come out very often, so I'm always very stoked to see it. Pick up the first trade paperback, and it will suck you in just like it did everybody else. Young Justice, number 18. A lot of buzz about this book. If you're a DC fan, if you're a Batman sidekick fan, you're going to want to pick this up. But you're probably already picking it up because everybody's been really digging Young Justice. That's sort of your lighter side of the DCU. Now let's get to the dark side. Deceased, Dead Planet, their breakout hit. Everybody's loving Deceased. I love anything with Zatanna on the cover. It's a gorgeous cover, by the way. Book is also a ton of fun. Obviously a little dark, a little creepy, but super cool. And again, great to see the classic characters in this sort of apocalyptic universe. Strange Adventures is the first of a few Black Label books to talk about. This is your Tom King book. You know we love us some Tom King around here. Been really digging all this Black Label stuff like this one. And The Dreaming Waking Hours, your Sandman Universe Black Label book. And then Hellblazer, Rise and Fall is what is, I guess, becoming known as a bit more of a traditional Black Label thing, because it's this magazine, mature reader content sort of thing. I love big oversized books like this. More room for the art, as they used to say. And everybody loves some Hellblazer. Not a huge week for the DC guys, but a lot of great stuff. Same with Marvel. Not a huge week, but a lot of fun stuff like Empire number 6, the final issue of the latest big Marvel event that I've been talking up like crazy because it's been awesome. I'm a big fan of Marvel events. I'm a big fan of everybody versus everybody kinds of things. Things that shake up the continuity. I know nothing is forever in comics, but it's always fun to see these big earthquake events. That is your last issue of Empire. Fantastic Four 23 is your Empire tie-in book of the week. Always encouraging folks to read Fantastic Four because it's awesome and one of my favorite books of all time, but also because it's been really good with all this Empire stuff. It's kind of the idea with these event tie-ins. If you're not reading Fantastic Four, but maybe you picked up the couple Empire ones, you'd probably keep reading it because great stories, great art. X-Books, Wolverine, one of everybody's favorite X-Men, or New Mutants, Marvel's latest movie stars, and Cable rounds out your 3 X books for the week. Been talking up the X renaissance that's been going on. Pick up last week's House of X Powers of 10 trade paperback if for some reason you haven't seen anything with an X on it in a while. After you read that, you'll want to read X-Men and X-Force and X-Factor and New Mutants and all this other great stuff that they're doing with the X books these days. Guardians of the Galaxy is your outer space adventure book of the week. Adventures of the Wastelands is your alternate reality Avengers book of the week. Swordmaster is your flying under the radar book you should probably check out if you haven't seen one yet book of the week. And Black Widow is my book of the week. This is the B cover, the cool J. Scott Campbell cover, because you guys love your J. Scott Campbell covers. Get them before they're gone. You can read more about this one in the newsletter. I always love Black Widow series. They're never ongoing. They're usually just sort of short and punchy, but always a lot of fun. Like I like to say, one of my favorite characters in comics. Marvel Zombies is back, because everybody loves Marvel Zombies. Can't get enough of this stuff. If you don't know much about the Marvel Zombies, grab the first trade paperback to get the gist of the whole thing, or just pick up this new issue, because a little like Deceased, it's dark and creepy, but really cool to see your favorite Marvel characters in these apocalyptic universes. And speaking of apocalyptic, Ravencroft is your dark side of the Marvel Universe, getting you ready for Halloween. That's just a few weeks away, because you know it's never too early to start talking of Halloween at Black Cat Comics. And what a great week for everybody else. Spy Island. It's your Dark Horse book of the week. Haven't had too much opportunity to talk up my friends at Dark Horse lately, but this is one everybody's been waiting for. I love, I don't know, horror, sci-fi sort of fusions, anything about the Bermuda Triangle. If you're a 70s kid like me, the Bermuda Triangle is just the coolest, creepiest thing. So pick up Spy Island this week, because that's going to be a lot of fun. Alien, the original screenplay, because I love talking up the great job Dark Horse has always done with Alien and Predator and Terminator, even though a lot of these franchises are going on to other publishers. But check out the original screenplay from the folks who brought you Alien comics from the beginning. Monstrous is your Image book of the week. Can't say enough about this multiple Eisner Award-winning title. If you don't know Monstrous, anybody watching this video needs to pick up the first volume trade paperback and read Monstrous. I don't care what kind of comics you're into. I don't care what you like or don't like. Monstrous is amazing. It's cool fantasy story, beautiful, beautiful art. There's a reason it's won a bunch of Eisners. It's one of the best comics out there. So do yourself a favor and get into Monstrous, because that's awesome. Die and Firepower, a couple of your other modern Image hits. Firepower is done by a guy named Robert Kirkman, who you might have heard of. And Inkblot is your first issue Gotta Have It Image book of the week. There's always a first issue Gotta Have It Image book of the week that you want to grab before it goes to reprint or becomes $20. This one has a black cat on the cover, so you know that always gets a vote from me. Usagi Yojimbo. It's one of your IDW books of the week. Another, like Monstrous, one of the best books in comics. One of the things that everybody should be reading. A little more about Usagi Yojimbo in just a minute. Transformers and My Little Pony. One of the great mashups of all time. Been talking about what a great era of mashups we live in, with publishers teaming up and franchises teaming up. I always say you kind of get the best of both when you see things like this. And come on, Transformers and My Little Pony? As I said in the video a couple of weeks ago, the more ridiculous the title, the better the comic. That's just a general rule of thumb that I learned a long time ago and live with every day. And Vampirella and Red Sonja are two of the things that Dynamite does best. They're two of the great women of fiction and women of comics, but Nancy Drew is the Dynamite book that you need on your list. This is Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. Nothing cooler than Nancy Drew. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Little like Nancy Drew out there kicking butt and solving mysteries. This is your Boom Studios book of the week, because Joss Whedon took all of his Whedonverse books over to Boom Studios, and he started Buffy over all from the beginning. So go back to #1, pick up that first trade paperback, or just jump into this modern arc. If you were a Buffy fan, an Angel fan, or if you just like cool, creepy horror stories, great time to be a Buffy fan. Doctor Who is your Titan book of the week. Got all the doctors on there. Everybody loving some Doctor Who. Time Lord Victorious. Sort of a one-shot, double-sized special for all you Doctor Who fans out there. And then all of the A publishers. Lonely Receiver is the first issue of your latest Aftershock title. We've been talking of Aftershock always, especially since we had their editor-in-chief on Comic Shop Talk Live. Love me some Aftershock. Love me some Animosity and Dark Arc. Excited to jump in on a new first issue there. Cool cover, too. AWA is another publisher we've been talking up. A lot of talent coming out from these guys. This is Grendel, Kentucky. Another first issue for you to jump in, try a new title, try a new publisher. And Cimmerian, Ablaze. Another A publisher, another new publisher we've been talking up. And you know we love some barbarian action. Love me some Conan, love me some Red Sonja. And the Cimmerian is sort of a more faithful rendition to the original material as opposed to the more mainstream kind of things that you see in regular comics. So if you're a big Conan fan, you want to jump into some Cimmerian, this is probably the third or fourth series that they've done. You can just jump into this one, but again, if you like that barbarian action and beheading and whatnot, you're going to want to pick up some of those other series too. And what a fun week for the all ages stuff. Betty and Veronica get the YA graphic novel treatment this week. Love me anything with Betty and Veronica, and you should too. Everybody's been getting into these YA graphic novel things. Do you have a young reader in your life, or if you're just looking for something a little different from the apocalyptic superhero stuff, grab some Betty and Veronica. I'm always talking up the great job Archie does with everything. And DC has been in the young adult graphic novel business for quite some time. This is your latest one, Teen Titans, Beast Boy. You've probably already checked out Raven and Mira and the Super Sons and some of the other ones that they did, and they've all been really great and big sellers. So get that one on your list. Last but not least in the all ages stuff is Miles Morales' Spider-Man Little Golden Book. Because I always talk up any new Little Golden Book. I love Little Golden Books. You love Little Golden Books. Again, if you got a younger reader in your life, or you're just looking for something fun, something flashbacky to when you were a little kid, they do all kinds of fun ones with these Little Golden Books. Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all sorts of things. We got a bunch up there on the website. So pick up some Miles Morales because he's awesome, and grab some of the other ones while you're there. And then just a couple other things that I don't often get a chance to talk about. This is your latest Firefly novel. I think it's the second or third in the series. Again, I love me some Whedonverse, love me some Firefly, and every once in a while, I check out a real book, a graphicless novel, as I like to call them. And that's Jane with his cool funky hat that he got from his mom, so that's just awesome. And the annual trip through the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. This book is the Bible of all comic shop guys. It's the Bible of all things comics. It is everything you ever wanted to know about comics. It answers every question that I get asked all the time. Every fan of comics needs a copy of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. You can look up every book ever published in this country from 1500 to 2020. It has them all. Different prices, different grades, all sorts of great information. Can't say enough about the Overstreet. As I say, this book answers 99.9% of the questions I get asked all the time. So, pick that up. You don't need one every single year, but if you don't own one, if you haven't got one in a while, pick up the new Overstreet, go through it. Like I say, everybody needs one. Everybody needs to know how they work, what they are, and it's a surprising amount of fun to look up all your favorite books, look up books you didn't know about, and I don't know, on and on and on and on I could go about the Overstreet Price Guide. It's got a cool Spawn cover. Everybody loves a cool Spawn cover. Last but not least, it's still Free Comic Book Day. We got Free Comic Book Sunday every single week. If you've got your pickups, your curbside pickup scheduled, if you've got a shipment coming out to you, you'll get your free books. If you don't have a pickup or a shipment coming to you, go to the events page at black-cat-comics.com, book a pickup for Sunday, and you'll get all your free books. You definitely want to do it this week because Jack Kirby has his own Free Comic Day book. If you know and love Jack Kirby like everybody on earth does, you want this book. If for some reason you don't know the name Jack Kirby, you definitely need this book. Everybody on earth needs their free copy of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King in Comics. Can't say enough about this guy, even though I sure try. I go on and on and on about Kirby like every comic book guy does. You want to pick up that one, and you want to pick up Usagi Yojimbo. I told you I'd be talking about him more in just a minute. If you don't know Usagi Yojimbo, here's your opportunity to pick up a free one because it's awesome. Lots and lots of great stuff this week. So go to black-cat-comics.com, click on Shop, click on New This Week, and have tons of fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.